So what is moving you should actually move me. So if it is moving you that 11-year-olds are getting pregnant and having triplets, it should equally move me. But we are not going to deal with it by shelving the bill. We must confront what is in our society. Just the other day I put it in my Facebook that there is a video ongoing of a 12 or 11-year-old girl performing oral sex on a child who looks like 9 years, while another one who looks like it's 10 is performing anal sex on her. And then we say, put aside this bill. What are we doing to help those children? Let us stop this splitting of hairs between imaginary Christian lawyers and imaginary members. These members are born-again Christians. I think we are misleading the country for our own reasons. Show us in the bill under the definition section the definition of masturbation or any such phraseology that would import masturbation in this bill for 4-year-old, because I will be the first person to oppose once you point it out to us. Okay. In the bill, not in ICPD, yes. Not in a document in by the, I don't know whether you said World Health or I don't know which one, because you must also be conscious of our laws that you refer to. What does the Children Act say about some of these things? What does the Sexual Offences Act say about children, about people engaging? You've just said it's 18. Below 18, there is no sex. We have been opposing people trying to reduce the minimum age because we don't want our children engaging in sex. So tell us, within the framework of the Sexual Offences Act, within the framework of the Children Act, within the framework of the Treaty Making and Ratification Act, how these have been imported in our law, because they've not. So let us be factual.
Honorable Pasaris, I'd like you to take me. Yeah, I'd like you, first of all, you're a doctor, and you know, and you should know, irrespective of your Christianity or your religious background, you should know that masturbation is a natural process of any human being. It is. Now, the fact is that now you're saying that it should be taught. It's not taught. And where in the bill is it saying that it should be taught at the age of 4? Where? Take me to that clause. Because you're the ones who are actually causing so much confusion and denying women and girls the right to reproductive health care. And it's very sad.
I need you to protect me, Chair.
Okay, I will, Dr. Wahome, but kindly, just for the record, because you know we do have somebody here taking records, yeah?
Chair, can I say something?
No, hold on, you're here. Also, some of it might be live, yeah? So we do not need you with your title, Dr. Wahome, to be misinforming on what about the bill. We do not have masturbation for 4-year-olds in the bill. And if it is, I would wish and I would want you to point out where you're getting that from.
Can I continue now, Chair?
Yes. And mine will die. My bill is taking a life cycle approach, meaning it begins at conception. So we are not talking about to do away with adolescence, because the church, I sat in the Bill of Rights Committee, the church brought the issue of conception. Life begins at conception. So if you are dealing with reproductive rights, it will begin at conception to the end. We are dealing with the 60 men with erectile dysfunction. Reproductive rights is not about women. It's also about men. So we are also dealing with issues that affect men and that affect women. And also beyond that, I think one of the things that I want to say is that sometimes when we sit and theorize, because I was actually shocked when I was hearing you people talking about assisted reproduction. I thank God that He has given me blemish so that that blemish can help others. I don't have a child, and I will proudly say that. Many women don't have, and they commit suicide because they don't have. God brought me in this parliament at such a time as this that we pass a law to help women who can't naturally have assisted reproduction. If you look at the book of Genesis, Sarah had a child through assisted reproduction before God remembered her at 100 years. I know God will not remember me at 100 years, and I would not want God to remember me at 100 years. So while we are still thinking of the women we don't want God to remember at 100 years, Susan Kihika is here. God is using her as a Christian to remember those women at 100 years. So let us come together And the reason why I'm saying it is so that we can actually talk generally. Those of your team that have not spoken, I would request that we let them give general comments.
Esther, wanted to say something? Bill, I support the interactions that we're having right now. I am born again. Okay? I am born again. I love the Lord. The Lord died for sinners. So I don't want to say that I'm perfect. None of us are perfect. All right? The reason why I support this bill, and I really hope that you understood when Millie was talking, Honorable Millie was talking, the pain and the suffering that you see when an 11-year-old gives birth to triplets, that this bill will be able to help her and many like her not be in that position. The pain that you see when children are abusing children. During this pandemic, the things we're seeing on WhatsApp going round, where a mother is talking about her own son sleeping with her daughter and her daughter being pregnant because she's going to work and the children are at home. We have to stop wearing blinders. You know, Mr. Kanjama, I want you to, you keep saying, let's put it off so we can do it, we can interact. Can I tell you, the interactions you had with Judy Sajeni in the last parliament, no, you didn't come back and say, this is what we feel we should do for our children. This is what we feel we should do for our society. This bill is not about being shelved right now. As Millie said, she's got another one. It's about us putting our heads together as quickly as possible to make sure that we safeguard the rights of women, children, boys, men in our society. It's not talking about eroding our values. Kanjama, you keep talking about values, our values against their values. Let me tell you, values are values. The UK, Europe, America, everywhere in the world, Africa, everywhere has values. Our values are not unique. The set of values of a family are there for everyone. I grew up with values. My great-great-grandmother, who never knew Christianity, because it had not come at that time, she had a set of values too. So I feel that we're here and we're interacting, we're not fighting. Let us put the pain and the suffering of our women, girls, boys, and men protected within the law. And the law cannot wait sometimes. It cannot wait. It didn't serve that 11-year-old girl. And the many children that are getting defiled every day, right? The many women that are getting, botched abortions. There's so many things. When I saw you're calling the bill the abortion bill, I was wondering, where's this abortion bill? I don't even know about an abortion bill. We've even branded the bill with something so negative. I know right now, we're being accused that we have donors and we're talking to donors. Let me tell you, I feel it's the same on the other side. That right now you need to tell the donors, the bill has been shelved, we've won the war. No. At the end of the war, the battle is to protect our children, our women, our boys, our men. Okay? And our set of values and our Christianity, our spirituality, everything. So let's Susan, I don't know if I look like you, but I tell you, I just drove into Parliament and saw people placarding against me, and I was wondering what is going on, And social media can be used to destroy a lot of things, including that which is good. This bill, together, the way we're interacting right now, will be the best thing. And I love the fact that Kanjama is a lawyer. Millie gave you a challenge. Give us the terms that you want us to use. Give us those legal terms that you want us to use. Okay, so that we can actually do something right. Because to say, put it off, that should not be the dream that we should have. The dream that we should have is laws to protect our children, our women, our men, our boys, laws to protect our society and to protect our values. But the thing is, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's not put any ideas that there's a chance that we can shelve this bill. Because if you shelve this one, Millie is waiting with another one. Yeah. And for the record, I'm born again and I love the Lord.
Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Esther. And
Senator is doing is actually showing you what this process is about. Because he's disagreeing with us by actually agreeing with us. Because he's saying he's disagreeing in principle, but I'm sure that Susan Kika has read, Senator has read, there's nothing you disagree. Is there something there that you would want to disagree with? That we are telling children not to have sex. You disagree with that. What are you agreeing with? You are agreeing with children having sex. So I think we need to also be clear what we are opposing. And I am standing because I think why I was actually being sometimes a bit too hard, that we theorize. And I want to tell you why I'm saying we are theorizing. And I thank God for putting me here at this place at such a time as this, and for appearing as a mental case, and I'm glad. The reason why is because I am able to say things which other women can't say. I was an early bloomer. At 11 years, I started having my periods. Right up to the time when I went for surgery in New York, when the government of Kenya didn't know how to deal with me, we'd be sitting here and I would suddenly be in a pool of blood from 11 years. What did anybody do to me? Nothing. What did I as an 11-year-old know how to do with it? Nothing. And I would be off school for 7 days in a pool of blood. While we are theorizing that girls don't need. I was an adolescent at 11, up to 18 years, in a pool of blood, every month. And every time I went into hospital, especially by the time I went into university, raised in Christian standards, not sexually active, every month I was told I've aborted. Who will protect my voice to not be declared a person who is aborting because I am only going through what every other woman is suffering from? I have a grandchild who is going through the same process right now. She's lucky she has me. I went through that. I am able to guide her through. It should not be accidental. We must protect by law so that a child who is 11 years in Remba Island in my constituency knows what to do, because there is a health institution that can deal and can diagnose early that she has fibroids, which stopped me from having children. So now I'm bringing assisted reproduction, which we are theorizing that we don't need those children because it's ungodly. Please, let us be realistic about the realities that women and men face in this country. And I want to encourage you, my brother, read what you are saying we should delete. It is actually what is protecting the children. And that is why I'm going back to Susan. Let us meet. And it will not be a one-day meeting, I can assure you. It will be up to 4 days. We will tear, and you might be shocked after the meeting. We might actually come up with a totally new bill. If you convince us, we might come up with a new bill. If you don't convince us, we will amend. But we cannot theorize that about a bill that needs to be shelved when we have not looked at it. While we are shelving it, there is a girl who is every month in a pool of blood like me, what I used to go through. There is a girl who is anemic every month, the way I used to be. There is a girl who is being told she's aborting every month, the way I used to be told. Let us deal with reproductive health care issues as Christians, as parliamentarians, so that we can protect our girls. And much more so now, when we have kids that are also being parented online by people we don't know, TikTok, I don't know what, telling them things. You are teaching your children this, they are telling them this. The law will help us.